What if I told you that you could learn bluegrass guitar from Billy Strings himself? In this video, I am taking highlights from his recent interview with Rick Beato, which was amazing if you haven't already watched it, and we're turning them into teaching moments. My name's Cody, by the way. I'm a former student of ETSU's Bluegrass and Old Time Country Music program. Here on this channel, we talk about all things bluegrass with a special emphasis on helping new guitarists learn how to play. If that describes you, my beginner-friendly bluegrass guitar course/membership Flatpick Foundations is helping tons and tons of students learn how to get their footing in this style of music. I break it down nice and easy. This course solves a problem of other instructions being too overly complicated or having extraneous information in it, and it makes you think, you'll never be able to learn, which can sometimes scare folks away. So if you've got extra time, you're wanting to learn a new hobby that's maybe not plugged into a wall or needs recharging, check out Flatpick Foundations. It's going to help you along. Let's get into point number one, where Billy talks about the power of observing and watching learning from others. Let's listen.
I remember specifically watching my dad's hands and just looking, And he would play, and my dad would hold his pick like this, his three fingers kind of chilling down to the side right here. And I would look at my hand and then look at his and just try to make it the same, Like, how does Dad do this? And just by looking,
Yeah.
Just really paying attention, trying to make my hand look like his,
Despite being enrolled in an academic, bluegrass program for so many years, this is where I learned most of my guitar picking. This is the Acoustic Coffee House near downtown Johnson City, Tennessee. And this location here was very formative in learning how to pick. And that's because on this sidewalk, my friends and I would go and we'd do laundry at the laundromat next door. And we would sit there for hours and hours throughout the week and just learn from watching each other. You gotta remember, at this time, 2006 to 2010, there wasn't much on YouTube, if anything. I don't think YouTube even existed. So we had VHSs, we had DVDs that our professors would show us, but most of what we learned came from being immersed in the bluegrass culture. So that meant learning licks and trying to play those licks when we went to take a break. It meant learning and watching chord progressions, how other players voice their chords. It's really, really important. That's why my short form videos have the split screen there, so you see what's going on my right hand and my left hand. But to sum up point number one, always be watching, whether it's on a YouTube video, in person, at a performance, what have you. Just make sure you're watching what other players are doing. That goes for any instrument. Now on to the second point, where we're relying not on our eyes, but on our ears. Let's hear what he has to say.
And so how I was learning that at first was I was counting, okay, D, 2, 3, 4, A, 2, 3, 4, B, and then G, and then I was trying to count and stuff, And I couldn't count, So I said, stop and just let me listen. The melodies were cues.
Right.
What he was doing was the cue. So after that, I listened to him play it through. And I go, okay. And the next time through, I nailed it. So yeah, I learned just by ear and by picking and just hearing the songs. And
without a doubt, the more that you listen to bluegrass music, doesn't matter what kind it is, whether it's new grass, whether it's jam grass, or whether it's the older stuff, which is what I generally gravitate towards, the easier it's going to be to play it once you get going. It's just that simple. If you have no context at all, it's going to be harder to start playing. I also recommend listening to as many versions of the tune or the song or whatever it is that you can. That way you get different ideas of how different players approach a particular song, a break, or even a part of a song. Because in this style of music, you're inevitably going to hear things like, oh, Tony Rice played this on the 9-pound hammer, or he did this on Blackberry Blossom, or Billy Strings played this lick over this. And so the more you understand, what fiddle tunes are what and how they sound and the melodies that go along with them, the easier all this is going to become, not only to play, but to kind of dork out and be part of the bluegrass conversation and the culture, which is also very, very important. Now on to point number three, and this one definitely hits close to home for me because this is an element in my music playing that I definitely neglected for the first handful of years when I was really trying to learn and take it seriously. Let's listen.
No way.
Bluegrass guys work on their timing.
Yes.
I mean, that's kind of like a lot of bluegrass pickers really pride them. I mean, timing is essential. That's why we work on timing. That's why we play with a metronome and why we play with other people and why we play along with tracks and stuff so we can groove with the track and, you know, ride on the train, not try to push it or pull it. You know, like, I mean, you can push it and pull it, but that's a different thing.
I preach all the time on my channel inside of my course about the importance of playing either with one of two things. Basically, a metronome at very least, but I recommend, no, I'm not sponsored by this organization, an app called Strum Machine. Billy talks about the importance of a backing track. Strum Machine is a backing track paradise, basically. It's got thousands and thousands of customizable backing tracks. You can customize the instruments, the mandolin, how it sounds, the bass, how it sounds, how many bass runs are put into the guitar, and you use this as a practice tool when you're learning how to play bluegrass, whether it's guitar, mandolin, bass, fiddle, great for banjo as well. Folks, if you're like me and you're trying to focus more on music in the evenings and not, you know, going to the screen and doom scrolling and seeing all the craziness, get this app. That might sound a little counterintuitive, but what I do is I put the backing track into my earbuds, I put it on transparency mode, and then I can hear my guitar. This is a game changer if you're trying to work on your timing in this style of music. Speaking of which, it is probably time for you to start learning bluegrass guitar. The internet's full of half put together lessons that are overly complicated. I know that learning this style is not the easiest, and I think one of the big downfalls about teachers online is that they assume that you already know a whole lot of stuff that you probably don't know. That's why I created Flatpick Foundations. I'm adding lessons to it over time. If you're like me and I open up my internet bill, lots of times it's just more expensive just because, and they're taking things away from me. That's not how this online business is set up. I definitely recommend getting the lifetime access. That way you're kind of forced to learn. You don't have to worry about a subscription and you can keep checking month to month and learning off of new lessons because that's the way it's set up. I keep giving you value. How crazy is that in this world, right? Folks, I hope to see you inside of Flatpick Foundations. If not, check YouTube for free lessons, and hopefully this has been helpful for you. Happy picking. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.